So there was this guy in Salt Lake who rode around on a bike, always looked pretty ragged. Um, I found out later that it didn't smell great either. Had a scruffy beard. Hard to tell when someone's that weathered how old they are. It seemed like he was pretty old. Um, and you could see some of the some stuff in his beard. Don't need to go too far. Big eyes that just looked like this. Um, and I was getting gas in my old 84 Isuzu Trooper on it's where the curve is on Fifth South in Salt Lake. I don't know if the gas station is still there anymore. Anyway, because this was in 1990s something, early 90s. And while I was getting gas, he walked right up to me, like eye to eye, and he poked his finger. Literally, he touched my chest while I was poking his finger, and I was freaked out. I didn't know what was happening. And he said, "You have a very good day." And I said, "Thank you." And he nodded and he went on his way. I met him later. He became my paper boy. What a terrible thing to say, paper boy. I don't mean it that way. I don't mean it that way. My paper delivery person. And every now and then I'd run into him while he was dropping off the paper, and he would stop and he'd talk to me. It was one of those things where it took him a long time to get something out. And so, and I would be kind of in a rush. I was trying to get a morning jog in usually. And so I would consciously avoid him sometimes. I'd see him like riding far ahead on the street, and I'd intentionally like try and make a turn or something like that so we didn't run into each other. And then the last time I ever remember seeing or talking to him, he said, "Hey, I have something I want to say to you." And I said, "Oh, what?" And he said, "Well, I wanted to say thank you." And I said, "Oh, for what?" And he said, "Well, I have Lou Gehrig's disease." And it took him a while to get it out. "And I don't have a lot of time. But you were always really nice to me." Jeez. And I thought of all the times that I'd avoided him, But I'm glad he thought I was nice. So I think that he's the person I visualize when I think about this song. And I was thinking about that and about this tape I used to listen to that my mom had, and I just liked it. It was a guy named Leo Buscaglia, and a speech he made, like a motivational thing. And the whole thing was called Love. I think he wrote a book called Love. He was a professor at USC. Anyway, he had a story in there about a homeless guy that he ran into, who told him his secret to happiness was to keep your mind full and your bladder empty. Really like that. And I thought, okay, that's the kernel of a song. And so I started writing this, and I didn't get to that kernel, but I'm okay with where I got. I kind of like where I got. So here's this. So I told you that story and played my song, and then realized, you know what? I messed up like the last words of my song. So I cut to this so I can play the song again. Because it was just like, I got to the end of the song and it wasn't, and it's like the last line, and I messed it up. And I didn't like that. So edit. Cut to here. I was there, walking my despair, stalking me through barely buried shouts of pain. So much time wasted, so much bad love tasted, so much lost of all that I had gained. Then I saw a man in rags, all he had in plastic bags, looking happy as a man could ever be. He eyed me with a grin, like I was his oldest friend, and he'd been there, waiting just for me. "What you doing over there, looking like an angry bear? Something clearly hit you where it hurts the most. Know what? It's your lucky day, 'cause you've come my way, and I'll be damned if I can't still be a host." And I said, "Man, I'm much obliged, but I got too much pride to confide my pain to someone I don't know." And he said, "Son, watch what you say. Ain't no stranger here today. We've been friends a full minute or so." And I was there, laughing, my despair passing. I could barely hear what he said to me. No such thing as time wasted or bad love tasted, 'cause love's all you gain, no one can steal. And now you've made a friend your heart can always mend. It's a lesson that I learned time and again. Till there's no room for doubt, someone else can lock you out, but ain't no one but you can lock you in.